Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So today we're going to discuss controversial hadith, and sometimes it can get confusing. So let's discuss this hadith and the explanation. So the hadith says that the Prophet said, on the day of resurrection, the Yawm al-Qiyamah, he says, Allah will hand over to every Muslim a Jew or a Christian and said, this is your ransom from the fire. And then it says, the Prophet said, no Muslim dies but that Allah admits in his stead a Jew or a Christian into the fire. So sometimes the Christians, they use this to try to say that they are our salvation, to go to to go to paradise. Like basically they're going to take our place. Some of them might make the argument that this is injustice. Why is a Christian taking the place and whatnot? So let me show you the explanation for this. Okay, so here's the explanation. There's another hadith in Ibn Majah where it says every one of you has two abodes. So every person has two places, an abode in paradise and another in the fire. Hence, when one dies and enters the hell, the dwellers of paradise inherits his residence. So someone else takes our place. That is the meaning of the verse, and verily they are the inheritors. So there's another hadith which actually explains it. So in conclusion, the hadith in reference expresses the enhancement of reward for the believers and the intensity of punishment for the disbelievers. When the believers will be informed of the potential evil abode, their salvation therefrom, this relief in itself will be a reward. So the fact that they'll be informed that this was gonna be your place, but it's no longer the place. Instead, it's a Jew or a Christian. It'll make them value what they did in the world, and for the disbelievers, it's going to make them feel more sad and whatnot. And so yeah, he says here on the other hand, when the disbelievers will witness the colossal loss they have suffered due to the voluntary disbelief, they will increase in their remorse. The non-believers inheriting a second abode in the fire does not mean, so here it does not mean that Allah is punishing them for sins they did not perpetrate. So it's obviously the sins that they perpetrated, that's why they're there, because they did kufr, which is disbelief. That's the reason they are there. The inherited abode was only a potential abode for the Muslims. As such, this second abode is a punishment for the sins. The greatest sin being disbelief, which the disbeliever himself committed, just like any other punishment. The word ransom, so the hadith mentions ransom. The word ransom in the first hadith means that Allah will tell a person, you are in danger of entering into the fire and this is your ransom. The reason being that Allah has stipulated a specific number of dwellers in the fire. So there was supposed to be a fixed amount of people who are going to be in hellfire. So when disbelievers enter the fire due to their own disbelief and sins and fill the spots, it's as if they are ransom for the believers, not that they are in reality a ransom. So in reality they are ransom, but they're just filling the spot because of what they have done. So this is a sharah by Imam Nawawi. He mentions this in his commentary. And also there's another hadith which talks about the sins of the Muslims being put upon the Christians and the Jews. So essentially what that is saying is they're going to have more severe punishment. That's what Allah is saying. So it's not that like those who do kufr, right, they're going to be in hell forever anyway. So it's just for them to get more severe punishment. That's what that means when it says that the sins will be put upon the Christians and the Jews.